All right. So officially welcome to the Legacy Podcast. Here we impact the mind and regenerate your mind and help you see that you can live an impactful and meaningful life by bringing the people who have done impactful and meaningful things for themselves. So having here today with me is live with Mr. O'Neill, right? Am I getting the pronunciation
Yes, sir.
correctly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, guys, can you introduce yourself to the audience, what you do, and before we get on to today's podcast? Yeah, over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity. My name is Emmanuel Tochukwu Samuel, and I'm the CEO of Onua Farms. We run a fish farm, farming in general, but practically we focus right now on fish farming. We also produce palm oil. We have a lot of other things we do. We are still expanding. We're still growing. And personally,
Wow.
I still have other things I'm into personally. Get more like I have things I do online, businesses I run online. I still run consultancy for other farmers out there that are intending to start up their own farms. So these are basically
Oh,
few of the things I still do for now. Yeah,
okay.
while also growing mentally and all that.
Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to be starting out with this per set of questions. How did you join into agriculture and specifically fish farming?
Well, that's a very tricky question. That's a very tricky question because how I went into it, being a Christian actually, grew up with the mindset of not wanting to just do things because everybody is doing it. I have this mindset that you have to do something because it's in line with your destiny and not just because everybody is, taking part of that. So mine it has always been from small. I've always seen this relationship animals and animals in general. That's what led me to studying
Yeah,
animal science. I also graduated from Michael Okpara University from animal science and production.
yeah,
So growing up, I saw myself loving things that have to do with animals and this. But when I came into the university, I came across this set of friends, then the same people in my college. But what they basically was we were talking about most of the time was fish, 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 fish. And before that, I've always been having dream of fish or see myself in a farm. I've always been tied to this kind of thing. When you're drawn to something specifically. So I decided
yeah,
to give
yeah,
it
yeah.
a shot, just try. So I went, got the knowledge. I went and learned it, got the knowledge and all that. So while I was in my final year, I think before my final year, something specifically happened that, clicked it and said, okay, this is what you should go into.
Yeah.
It was in 2020. So there was this person, a man, he lives opposite my house. God bless his soul. He's late now. I thank God for him because if not for him, I would not have maybe taken this path. So he started a fish farm. He started construction of a fish farm. Then I had a dream. I started this by saying we as believers we don't just delve into things because people are
Yeah,
doing it.
yeah, yeah.
So I had a dream where
Yes.
I went to him with a wine and offered him a wine. So when I woke up, I didn't need anyone to interpret the dream to me. I did exactly what I did in that dream physically. So when I came, he was now like, see, he's starting a fish farm and everything. And I was like, oh, I studied animal science, so I'm studying animal science as of there. And I learned about fish farming. Can I also come and practicing at your farm? So he said, okay, what's your payment expectation? So me, I told him, well, I'm still practicing. I don't want to tie my skill or knowledge to any amount of money. I will just be doing it just to
Yeah,
be learning and to be gaining knowledge. So with that,
yeah.
it's just like you keep seeing yourself in this particular space almost every time. So you see, this took me back to
Yes.
fish again. I'd left fish. Last time I did anything fish before 2020 was 2018. But since then, 2018 to 2020, I came back to fish again. So after 2020, I went back to school. 21, 22 ending, I graduated. 22, I graduated. Then started thinking of what to do with my life. Then I started having dreams again of fish farming.
Wow.
So that was when it took me back to it again. So I went back to fish farming and every other thing is a testimony right now. So that is how I got
Wow.
myself
Wow. Wow.
fish farming. So mine,
So
you
my
know, yeah,
yeah.
sorry. So mine was more like it was a spiritual thing, and I
Like a
was
divine
into
direction.
yes, yes, That was it for me.
Wow, wow, wow. This is amazing. So did you face any skepticism from your friends, your family, or people around you? Like why did you choose this path? And if you faced, how did you handle it?
Well, I do. I still do till now. I think your biggest critic self
Wow.
would be yourself. I think it's yourself. You criticize yourself more than people do. So when people say it comes to you and you start criticizing yourself the more. Because when I started, some people
Yes.
called me like, "Is this what you want to do with your life?" I'm the first son, so they're like, "This is what you want to do. You're the first son. This is what you want to venture into." So this mentality we all have of, why not leave Nigeria, go and start something for yourself, like not start something, go out to Nigeria and start working, start sending money home. I'm still facing a lot of challenge, but I faced a lot of challenges. But I think when you have a leading to start something, you ought to just start it and
Yes.
let God play
True, true,
his role.
true.
So me, when I
Yeah.
was facing these challenges, all I kept begging God was for signs to still show that this particular thing, you're the one that asked me to do it, you're the one that asked me to venture into it. And for every time I ran into roadblocks, it's not always easy, but in some ways that is not, when God is favoring you, the path is easier than when you're doing things for yourself. When you're doing something in line with God, the path seems quite easy. It's not like
Yeah.
it's easy. It's not easy. It's not smooth. But you find out that when you get to places that seem like you can't move again, all of a sudden something happens and you leave that stage.
True,
You find yourself, you've passed the
true.
stage. So this was what kept me going. It was more like a personal conviction. I always kept going back to the vision board. So, you have to go back to your vision, understand why you started, what prompted you to start. So I do go back and I do ask God, "Oh,
Wow.
yeah, show me a sign." Because the Bible even says, except they see signs and wonders, they won't believe. So I myself have to keep asking God, "Oh,
True.
show me a sign." So I will believe that this vision is actually from you. So whenever I run into roadblocks or having issues, I'm confused, I go back to God. I'm like, "You gave me this vision." Because when I started my business, I didn't start it with heavy capital as people think. They say agriculture, fish farming is capital intensive, which is true. But I didn't really
Yeah.
start it with
Yeah.
much. It was it's a way that God was using to build me, build my faith in Him. So I started with small, and with that, it's you yourself that will know what God has done for you. That is what you tell yourself. That's how you tell
Mm-hmm.
yourself that it's this particular course is for me. I will keep taking this part. So
Yeah.
I have my personal
True.
conviction, and I keep asking God to show me signs to prove that this is actually from you. So I think that is how I
Mm-hmm.
get. That is one of the ways I get to deal with family. And then another way I get to deal with family, as funny as it may sound, is that most of them they give me money. So, as
My
people will
God.
always say, 99
True.
advisors, no one they help you. Everybody's advising, nobody wants to help. So
True.
me, I always kept saying to myself,
And they are very good
everybody
at advising.
That's the thing. Everybody was advising, only God was helping me. So I said to myself, if God is the one giving me most of the help I need, because yes, people played their part. But when you look at something and see where sufficiency is in, you know that okay, this is the part that there's so much sufficiency. God really played a heavy part for me. So I keep when people come and say things, I go back to the person that is providing for me and be like, see what they are saying. Please help me out so that it will not look like what they're saying is true and all those kind of things.
Wow.
That is another way I just get through all the skepticism that comes with the noise that comes from the background from people.
That means looking at your journey, it has been God, your courage, God, your courage, and that's one of the surest way to actually navigate anything you want to do. I mean, I love the fact you stated out that as a believer, you needed that plain direction, and it does a lot to our faith. I mean, and it does a lot to our mind because usually God will always give us something that at that point we don't have the ability to power. Like that's one of the way you actually know is God. And I mean it's courageous to see you put in the work. And I mean you are not where you used to be. So moving forward, can you explain in a simple term what modern fish farming really looks like today? Like we are in a modern world, things are evolving really fast. And to you, based on you being in the business, what does fish farming, I mean, what does it look like? If you're to explain to an audience, what would you say? Okay, fish farming, this is what it is and this is what it looks like.
Okay, first off, I'll start with the side people don't like to hear. Fish farming is not actually easy. as people see it. Yeah,
Mm.
it's
Yeah.
not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. It requires a lot of money and a lot of courage for by yourself. Like, if the passion is not there, I would advise you to just leave it. If the passion is not there, because it requires a lot. Yeah, you have to put in a lot of work. Yeah, it's not just something you
Wow.
do because of the money. You do it because there's passion there. You love to grow. So you do that. That is one of the things. So back to your question. I don't know if you can rephrase it for me so I would answer it correctly.
So, looking at today's fish farming, and you know that a lot of modern things have been brought into fish
Yes.
farming. Can you educate the audience on these modern things that just came on board?
Oh, okay. Recently, before, when we normally do things like hashing, people that are into farming sector
Yeah.
understand hashing is production of the young ones that you now rear to maturity. Before, we normally just maybe just run normal flow through. Flow through is a system whereby water is coming in, water is going out at the same time. So, but now, even
Yeah.
despite the flow through, the flow through was done to help with oxygen in the water. It
Mm-hmm,
helps
mm-hmm.
circulate oxygen in the water. When fresh water is coming in, the bad one is going at the same time. So it helps circulate oxygen.
Yeah.
But now we have things like aerator that can do that job for you. So you see, it's more modern now to help circulate oxygen in the water. You have an aerator. Then we also have an automatic feeder right now in the fish farming sector. There's an automatic feeder whereby you can have an app that you can set with that feeder, and whenever you set as the time to feed the feeder starts feeding the fish for you.
That's feeding the fish.
Though
Wow. Wow. And this is the first time I'm hearing that.
yeah, it's not yet in broad scale. That is why you don't see a lot of people using it yet. It's still under development, but it's out there already. Get it out there.
Wow.
So these are some of the few things, and there's also something called aquaponics now, where you can where I can be. Let me say I can be rearing fish, and then the top of my water, I can build a segment for it whereby I plant plants, and then they get their nutrients from the water where the fish stay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you understand that. It's more like
Yeah.
running a soilless farm
I,
system.
I
So these are some of the developments we are
yes.
also seeing now in fish farming. Then we're also seeing things like catfish oil, whereby you produce like something like granite
Wow.
oil now from catfish. Yes. So there
Out
is
of
that.
out of catfish.
Yes, yes. It's done. It
Wow.
happens.
Wow. Wow. That's impressive. Oh, really impressive.
Yes.
I'm getting
Yes.
educated here.
So you can
Wow.
get oil
Wow.
from
Wow. Wow.
catfish. And even people don't even recognize. There are also, there are parts of catfish that I can sell as meat. It tastes like meat. It tastes like meat. So yes. So these are different aspects that you see in the fish farming. Most people just see the aspect of rearing fish to maturity and selling it, but there are other things involved in it. You get even like fingerlings. Sometimes people raise fingerlings and when they raise them, ones that don't really do well, like we in the animal production aspect, the ones that don't do well, we could sun dry them and use it
Yeah.
as a supplement for producing feed. Yeah, we use it as
Mm-hmm.
something used to
Wow.
produce feed. Yeah, instead of just letting them go to waste like that, we could sun dry and use it as a supplement for feed, or use it as an additive for the feed we give to them also. So some people don't also see this part. And then there is also the BSF, that is black soldier fly farming, now that fish farmers do to help cut down cost of feeding. So these black soldier flies are
My
reared
goodness.
as also supplements for those fish also. Yeah, so these are things that are coming into fish farming that people are just trying to embrace, get embraced of right now. And also in fish farming now, there is, before we always have this mentality of keeping only our normal catfish, but now there are other breeds being introduced now. Yes, there anybody in fish will hear
Mm-hmm.
of pangasos. That there are other breeds of fish now that are being introduced into the farming sector. So it's development is
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
in, and also you must have seen solar sumo. So now you don't necessarily need to be using gen to pump your water again. If you can afford the sumo, you just get the panel, keep it there, put your sumo in your in the well or whatever system you have for water. So with that, once the sun is out, you're pumping your
Yes.
water effortlessly.
Wow. This is really educating, like seeing the new technologies coming into the fish farm. I believe it has made fish farming even it's going to make fish farming a more efficient for fish farmers, like you. But moving forward, my question here now is, what is the greatest misconception people have about fish farming? Like, you is one of the things you're used to. In fact, you expect it from people to have about fish farming, or fish farmers.
The conception most people have about fish farmers is that they always feel farmers don't have money. Most farmers like believe,
Wow.
yes, yes. There are two sides to that statement. You could actually
Yeah.
believe it or you could doubt it depending on where you're standing. Now, people that have actually been into fish farming that don't know what they are doing and is unprofitable to them will come out and tell you farmers don't have money. Now, people that know what they are doing will come out
Mm-hmm.
and take so much money in farming. You get, because
Yeah.
these two answers come from two different perspectives. Maybe one person that knows what he's doing, one person that doesn't know what he's doing. But for me, I will tell you that
Yeah.
farmers actually, the ones that know what they are doing, the money is there. But here is the issue now.
Mm-hmm.
Farming is
True.
not a business where you say you offered a service and took only your profit out. You have to, if you want to grow a farming, you have to go into compounding. You don't just maybe after every sellout, after every round of sale, you just take out profit, take capital and put back. No, what most farmers do is they take part of their profit and put it back so that they can increase their stocking density. Let me say I started off doing 1,000 fish. If I should stock 1,000 now, and after like probably 6 months, maybe I get a profit of, apart from let me say I use 1 million as a capital. This is an illustration. And
Yeah.
I sell and make a
Yeah. Yeah.
profit of, say, 500K. So I have 1.5 million naira accumulated. So what most people do is
Yes.
they take out their 1 million naira and stock back that amount of fish for that 1 million. But now there are some
Yeah.
that what they will do out of that 500K, they take 200 to themselves, use 300, increase their stocking density a little bit, maybe by 200 fish.
Yes.
You see, with this now, the person that is stocking 1,000 now will be stagnant with his or her profits. The one that compounded from the profit would have a higher profit
Just
than that
keep
one.
going up.
So it's agriculture
Yeah.
is a game of patience. If you know you don't have much capital, this for especially for young ones intending to go into agriculture. If you know you don't have much capital
Yeah.
and the resources are there. When I say the resources are there, maybe there is a farm structure you've been seeing you could use. When you start, what I would advise you is don't go and start living large yet. Calm down, wait. Your business has not yet started making money. That is the truth. When you're in agricultural sector, you should think the way you think for yourself. Human beings, the way you wake up and somebody is out today, did not see the person again, is the way it is with animals. You can wake up tomorrow and all
Oh
your animals are
boy.
dead. You get. And you see, if you
Goodness.
don't have capital left for that, now that means you've gone back to where you were before. That is the bottom where you started from. You have to start again from the beginning. So you see, agriculture is really capital intensive. So when a young person is going to, what I would advise the person is to cut his or her coat. Like, if I cut it below your size, because you need to live below your standard of living at that moment. You could be, yeah, you could be
Yeah.
making
Below
a
your
million naira.
size.
You could be making a million naira, and what you should be at least live like someone that is making probably maybe 200K. It's not like it's a poverty mentality. If you have a vision, if you know where you are going to, keep thinking of where you are going to. Don't live for the present, live for the future. So always tell yourself that the money I don't spend now is the money I will spend tomorrow. Live that lifestyle you want to live now. Is as long as there's life, you always live it. So just keep compounding, keep yearning for growth. Like, meet other farmers, try to know what the new trend is in agriculture. Always try to, you know, do something new. Don't do the farming the way our fathers were doing it. It's just like you coming now, going to the
Yeah.
farm, taking go and digger to go and dig the ground where there are machines now that could practically do the job for you. That is kind of thing. Most people look at farming from that stressful mentality and all that. So I would say as a young person, just try to cut your coat like a little bit below your
According
size
to your size.
and
Below
just
your
keep
size.
doing
Yes.
it. Yearn for growth. And then another thing is try not to be distracted. Because when you see your friends doing other aspects of business, maybe you're in agriculture, this one is into oil and gas, this one is into this one. Sometimes you start feeling bad. Why am I not as productive as this person? Remember, those ones now, they are paying them salary. You yourself, you're the one that will determine
Yes.
what your salary is. You're the one now working for yourself. Those ones are working and earning. you're working for yourself to earn for your own self. So you see, it's more like these ones have a different life from you. So most farmers, most young people try bringing in that mentality like into farming. Farming is not a white collar job where you expect that at the end of the month
Yeah.
things are going to be fine. You could wake up at the end of the month and when your friends are receiving salary, you're losing 50 beds or 50 fish. Those kind of things could
Boy,
happen.
that
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
as a farmer in this present world, as a young person, you just have to be smart about it all. You just have to be smart. If you want to live above the normal way people see farmers, you just have to be smart about it.
My other questions is what does a topical fish farmer like a topical like a day in the life, like when like if you go on YouTube you see a day in the life of a software engineer, day in the life of this. So how is a day in the life of a fish farmer? How is it like?
First of all, a day in the life of a fish farmer, like a day, when I say a day, like maybe a day filled with activities, right?
Yeah, yeah,
A
yeah,
day in
yeah.
farmer can be stressful. Maybe you have off-takers coming to the farm that day to come and buy fish. The stress is not just about the physical stress, it's the fact that you have to deal with people that day. People are
Yes.
coming, you're trying to get them to pay you, they are trying to extort you, they're trying to cheat you. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. They're trying to cheat you. They are trying to, let every benefit come to their own side. Let the benefit be more for them than it is for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Then there are days where maybe you have to process fish. You have to dry fish. You could wake up by, let me say, 7 o'clock and start this process. And by the time you're finishing, maybe the time is 2 p.m. in the
Oh my
afternoon.
goodness. That's a lot.
So
That's a lot of work.
yeah, it is. And when I say by the time you're finished, it's not like by the time you're totally done. By the time you're done with the processing, then there is a part of taking care of what you're drying. You go back and be checking the oven from time to time to be sure what you're drying is not burning and all that. A day in the life of a fish farmer can be stressful, or maybe you could have orders to go and deliver dry fish here. But thank God we have dispatch riders that do those kind of jobs for us.
Yeah.
Take dry fish to location or this location or that. So I think the stressful part in it should just be maybe bringing out the fish when you have a lot of orders. These fish, they have weight now, so you have to be
Yeah.
strong. It's not for people that don't have strength. You have to
Yeah,
eat
that's
well.
true.
You have to eat well. If you don't eat well, you might come in the
Wow.
morning and pass out. So you have to have
Wow, wow.
strength and all that. So it's quite stressful. I mean, farming is stressful, that's true, but it's fun when it's something you like. You
Yes.
can just provide the whole stress to fun. You look at it as just having.
So for you, you're always having fun, right?
Well, most of the time it's fun. Sometimes it's stressful, sometimes it's stress tells. But it's different for me than it is for someone that doesn't even, this thing is not the person's thing at all. Like you will notice the clear difference. The way I would do the job and the way the person would do the job are two different things.
Yeah. So for younger people, younger people coming that want to come into the industry, what are the opportunities in the farming, the agriculture, and the farming industry? What will you say to them? Maybe say if a young person gets to see maybe a reel of this or a full YouTube video of this, what will you advise that young person? Okay, you're coming to this sector. What are the opportunities you think that person is going to always find in the agriculture or specifically in the fish industry?
The fish industry opportunities, I feel most opportunities there, you have to create it for yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, if for any young person coming into this, I would say be different. Try to be different. Don't do it the way everybody is doing it. Like me now,
Mm,
every day I'm here thinking of how I'm meant to do this differently. Because when you're doing it the way every other person is doing, that means you're basically a normal farmer like every person. That's what it means.
yeah.
But when
Yeah.
you're doing it different, when there's something that stands out in your own practice, maybe let me say when I say doing it different, maybe normally let me say if it takes 6 months to grow fish and the cost of production is maybe 1.6 million naira for 1,000 fish to get to 6 months.
Yeah.
If maybe
Yeah.
your own innovation can cut down the cost of production to maybe from 1.6 to 1.4 million naira and you still attain the same results like the person that did 6 months with 1.6, you attain the same result on a cheaper price, maybe a lesser time frame. that means you're standing out now in the business. People will now pay to know what you're
True.
doing differently
True.
to attain the results they've been attaining with their own method. So I would say be different. Try to do it differently. You know, look
Yeah.
for ways that you could do this thing that when people come and see yours, they're like, I've not seen this kind of thing before. Maybe you could even start by, let me say, this thing of this automatic feeder. The ones I've seen, practically seen, it's not like like you said, you've not really heard of it. Maybe instead of when people say fish farming, people just think of it as farming fish. Maybe your own aspect of in fish farming could be you going into production of machines that will eat
Yeah.
stress for fish farmers.
That's true. That's a business. That's a whole business there.
Yeah, yeah, and you're into the fish farming business. That is still you into the fish farming business, but you're doing it in a different. It doesn't always have to be rearing fish from small to maturity. You can just look for ways and do these things differently. There are a lot of ways to do it differently.
Wow.
It's just sitting down, doing your research, and knowing where you want to go into.
This is life changing. This is literally life changing. Getting to hear other opportunities apart from even just the fish farming itself. I mean, see how you're breaking it down. I mean, to any person listening to this podcast, I think you should pay attention to not just the fish farming, pay attention to the systems that help the fish farming, and you could make a lot of money out of it. So far, you're going to be able to ease the pain point, I mean, of this of people in the fish industry. So what is one of the pain points? Like now, me, I'm in the tech industry, right? I'm in the software industry, and the tech industry is divided into the software and the hardware. So if as a tech person, I want to solve a problem in the fish farming from the software standpoint or from the hardware standpoint. What do you think? What is one of your pain points you think that tech people can actually solve for you in the tech and for you in the fish farming industry or in the agricultural industry?
Okay. Well, let me say for the technological part, well, if they could make machines that they are there already, but I think most of
Yeah.
them are the prices are at the high side. It's not affordable for basic farmers. But
Yeah.
like for me personally, things that challenge me, let me say recycling of water. If I saw a way to be recycling the dirty water, when you recycle it, return back clean water inside. If it were cheaper, there is a way to do it actually, but if it were cheaper, yeah, maybe there was
Yeah.
an app, then a machine that I could connect the app to, and there I could place a time on. Okay, like me now, I wake up at night to change my water. So maybe
Wow.
if there was a machine that could maybe help regulate this stuff for me, that means I don't have to stand up, go to the farm to change my water. That means I have to sit down inside at the comfort of my room. I do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is one
Wow.
of it. Then this automatic feeder I just talked about.
Okay.
Automatic feeder,
Okay.
yeah, if there was a way to also do that. Then I think there's also now there's a machine that helps count fingerlings. Before how we count fingerlings was we do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Man,
But now there
there's
are
a lot of
machines
physical
innovation.
effort.
Yeah. So right now there's a machine that you can just pour your fish and it helps count it for you. It tells you, okay, this is the amount of fingerlings you have. Yeah, it writes it, puts it down there. So you see, it's this kind of things. Anything that can help reduce the stress. I think as people, anybody that wants to go into the technological part of agriculture, if you can come around any farm, from where you are sitting as a tech enthusiast, you can look and see, okay, these are places who could help out and find solutions. And I don't know if you get. It's
Yeah,
just like this
I get you.
automatic, like this washing, this the pumping machine of a thing. If there was also an app now, not just the system, the solar system. If the solar system had an app that could turn on the sumo without me going to do it by myself, that
Yeah.
would be better. Maybe I can sit down from my room. The app is connected to each pond. Okay, I can click pond one. Then
Yeah.
pond one starts filling up. I don't know if you get. I feel it's
I get you.
achievable.
I get you.
Yeah, I think that's
I
achievable.
I I
So
get
if
you on
there's
this. So
anything that can introduce
so
water and help take out the water too, is not bad.
all right, all right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So my question now is also while wrapping up, what is the hardest challenge you face as a fish farmer, and how did you overcome it?
One of the Hardest challenges. I feel challenges will always keep coming. You just have to like just keep building your capacity to overcome them. But one of the biggest challenges as a fisherman is capital. Getting capital, yes. Yes, getting capital is a very big challenge because you could be there with all your ideas and but the capital is not there to put it into good use or to put it into
Yeah.
practice. So I think one of the biggest challenges is getting capital. And when you actually go to Bank of Agriculture to get loans, the process is always very tedious and very
Why
long.
why why so? Why so? That is supposed to be easy if they want to really help a lot of Africans to get into agriculture. Why is it like that?
Well, it's they do actually disburse funds for this, but the country we live in now, the way we do things. I don't want to go into details, but we know the way we do
Yeah.
things in this. There are
Yeah,
people
yeah,
it
yeah, that's
favors,
true.
don't favor. So it favors few, doesn't favor the rest. That's just all I can say about that aspect. But if it's for them, the government disbursing money for agriculture, they do. So it's just how it is here.
Oh, okay, okay, that's fine. So, what do you think fish farmer? What do you think fish farming is, or why do you think fish farming is important for Nigeria and Africa food security?
Well, fish is a source of protein, a very high source of protein. So I think protein is one of the most fundamental aspects when it comes to the classes of food now. All of them are important, but at least when they say you need protein for growth now and that. So
You
and
really
then
need.
the oil from catfish contains lesser cholesterol compared to others is better, is healthier than other oils you normally get. Yeah, there are other oils that are healthy, but the one from catfish is actually healthy because I've seen the process. The process is very, very healthy. No extra additives. It's purely healthy. Yeah,
Wow.
so
So,
that's part of.
so how is fish farming different from every other farming like poultry or crop farming? Like what's the advantage it has over these other systems?
Well, advantage. Apart from let me say fish farming and poultry farming, that the issue, one of the challenges in poultry farming is mortality. Where you can wake up, your birds all are dead, or one little few can take off all your birds. I think one of the important advantages of fish farming is you can they survive. They have good survival rates. Yeah,
Oh
they
wow.
survive well. When I compare them mostly to like poultry farming because in fact all of them, you know, all this depends on where your hand or where your capacity is built on.
Yeah.
That handle poultry farming and they do it. I've also heard of farmers that wake up and tell you they woke up and all their fish were dead. Get so there are challenges in
Oh,
all of
that's crazy.
yeah, it happens. A lot happens in this agricultural sector. A lot of heartbreaking events happen. You could face a lot of challenges.
that means the real heartbreak happens in agricultural industry.
Yes, it does.
Like wow.
Yeah, it does. It does because
That's crazy.
you hear a lot of things that happen. There are even like one of my experiences. There was a day I was changing water, introducing new water into my pond. What happened that day? My sumo burnt. I had no choice. I had to start looking for money to get sumo, to get a new sumo. And you know what sumo? The price of sumo is not here. So imagine,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
was one. I also faced the one where I was changing water. My gen, the engine broke into two. I had to look for money and get a new gen. So you see,
Jeez.
these are things challenges you face. And no one like knocks on the door a night before and says, "I'm coming today to challenge you." You wake up and you jump into this challenge.
Like you just jump into it, man.
You
That's
just
that
face it
that's a
as it
lot.
comes. Yeah, you just face
Wow,
it as
wow,
it's
wow,
coming.
wow.
All of them have their perks. Every single aspect of agriculture has its perks. Every single has its advantage. I would say just find one that is for you. Start from there and start
Yeah,
building your capacity. Because I will not just tell you to dwell only on one aspect of agriculture, but find where you have more capacity. Then from there, start climbing to the top.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, this has been an educative podcast, and I just pray it gets into the right ears to people who are who really want to get into fish farming. I mean, we're going to have subsequent podcasts, and on the podcast, I would love to have you is how people can actually get into the fish farming. But wrapping up this particular section, right?
Yeah.
um I'll ask you, how profitable is the fish farming? How profitable it is at any level? And what does it take to sustain that profit?
It takes first to answer what it takes to sustain the profit is it takes more capital to sustain your profit. To make more profit, you need more capital.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, the first thing, I'll see if you can rephrase it. Let me get it.
How profitable is fish farming?
Okay. It's profitable. It is. I don't want to put a margin to it, but it's profitable. Everything I think is very profitable depending on you yourself. I could take in the same amount of fish my neighbor takes in, and the way I handle it will be different from the way he
Yeah.
handles it. So that means let me use
Yes.
a very good explanation. If I'm to rear maybe 500 fish, we are two giving 500 pieces of fish to rear each. So this one was giving 500 fingerlings, this one was giving 500 fingerlings to rear to maturity. But me now,
Yeah.
we are giving the same resources to rear them. But me now, I paid more attention to mine.
Yes.
What do I mean? I changed my own water often. I fed them at the accurate time when
Mm-hmm.
I was meant to feed them. Because, these things are things people
Yes.
overlook in fish farm when they just think you can come and give those fish feed anytime. Like now, I feed my fish
Yes.
every evening you know that by 6, my fish practically knows that this is feeding time. They get ready to eat.
Wow.
So you see,
Wow.
yeah, so that's the thing. So at that particular time, all of them are ready to eat. But if I should go maybe 7 o'clock, there are few that will eat at that moment because, it's just the same
Yeah.
with humans where maybe when you're very hungry, if you don't get food at that particular time, there's how your body sometimes reacts. Your body reacts, your hunger
Start
doesn't stay
reacting.
there. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's that way for them. So if we are two, the other person might be careless handling his own. He might even have more capital than I do. But because me,
Yes.
I'm handling mine with so much care and concern, mine will do better than his own. So I see I'm more profitable now than that person. So it's not
Yeah.
a thing of the capital, it's a thing of the person handling the farm himself. How do you care for these animals? How do you take care of them? Are you paying attention? Like I could go to someone's farm now. I will tell the person, see your fish is sick. Whereas this person comes to the farm every day, might not have idea that the fish is falling sick. So you see, some don't pay attention to their business, while some pay close attention to it.
I
So I
mean,
feel the profit aspect has to come from the person
yeah.
handling the business. How well do you pay attention to? Are you even seeing it as a business, or are you seeing it as something you're using to pass time? Are you
Wow.
trying to
That's
are you
very
trying to make
important.
profit?
Yeah. Are you trying to make profit? Yeah.
Yeah, so that is it. So that is one of the that is the
We,
way.
with your level of accuracy and knowledge you have about the fish farming, you're qualified to do that consultancy, like to consult for people like on fish farming.
Okay.
And I'm going to, yes, we're going to work on something together for a lot of farmers, that a lot of people that want to get into fish farming. I mean, a wonderful moment getting in. I mean, these few moments I've gotten to learn a lot about fish farming. I won't feel like a farmer, like a fish farmer right now. So, can fish farming be scaled from your backyard? For somebody that just want to start from there, I just want to start from my backyard. Can it be scaled from your backyard into a very full blown big commercial business? Is it possible?
It is. First off, I would say with God, all things are possible.
Yes.
And again, there's a scripture I always hold on dear to me, which is that scripture we always say that he that is faithful in little will be faithful in more.
Yeah.
So that backyard you're seeing, they said a forest doesn't just automatically start. It starts from one tree or from one plant. So that your backyard could actually be where you expand your capacity from. So that means your backyard could be your growing point where you learn to handle the mistake. Because if you can't handle the one in the backyard, you will not be able to
Commercial one. It's crazy.
commercial.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's the backyard you're seeing as a backyard to somebody else. That place now is where their wonder starts from, where the whole miracle starts from. So, like me, I told you how I started mine. I started mine with a very little capital. Maybe that might be something to talk about another day. So, mine with a
Yes.
very little, and not what every person there would want to start with. When I say
True.
what I started with, some people look at me and say, you're just a motivational speaker. That's why you're saying this thing. The amount I started with doesn't look realistic. Doesn't realistic at all. The
My
farm was
goodness.
there. Yeah, it's just like you said now. Okay, I've seen people that have this kind of things. Like, I don't know if you've gone to somebody's house and you saw fish facilities, but they're not making use of it.
Yeah.
It's just there. It's the same way now mine was for me. the facility was there. The person that owned it was not making use of it. I went to the person, I want to make use of this. We'll get to talk about this maybe some other time because
on our next, we're gonna have another podcast where it's specifically on how somebody can get into the fish farm,
yes,
because and it's going to be elaborate. It's a whole long
very
discussion.
long. As believers, most of us as believers, we need to pay attention to relationship and a lot of things that we don't really think are important. Because in my own story, relationship helps me. People that I did something for in the past, when I started let me just say it, I started my farm with 50,000 naira. That is the truth.
We are coming to that. Keep that story.
So,
we're going to have a deeper.
The same way someone has a farm in his backyard, that person that has a farm in his backyard could be waiting for God to give him 10 million. Whereas somebody is just praying, God, just give me this farm. Even if it's 50K I have, let me just show you how important this 50K is, 100K is. So I think planting, when you plant, what actually helps with the growth is how often do you water your plants?
True.
How tender to the weed around it? Do you weed it and help it? When you weed plants, it helps it absorb more nutrients from the sun and grow. So it's you yourself that is planting the seed in your backyard. Are you paying attention to it? Do you even want it to grow? Are you seeing it as somewhere that your business can start from and grow out there? So these are some of the things. Some people just don't look at these things from a big mindset. Some people just look at it from a shallow mindset. So I feel every growth starts from the mind. Yeah. So when your growth starts from your mind, then what you're seeing physically then starts expanding to what your mind has always been seeing. So you can actually start from your backyard and grow a very global farm.
Wow, that's very impressive. I mean, one of the key word that came to me there, it's how you manage that stage. If you can make the mistake there, make the correction there. So if you're listening to this right now, you can actually start from your backyard and make all the mistake you need to make while you look at the world in view.
Yes.
So concluding and wrapping up. So what has been fulfilling for you? What are the fulfilling moments for you in this fish farming? Like, you just sit back and you take a deep breath and you're fulfilled that you're here. Like, what are those moments of fulfillment?
Okay, that would be me now, like thinking of how I started with my 50K.
Yeah.
And seeing myself now being able to pay, because I have some people that invested in my farm.
Yeah.
Being able to pay them 7 figures.
Wow.
For someone that started with 50K last 2 years.
That's
able to pay investors in 7 figures now. I think that is something, that is a wow moment. That is something to actually look back.
It's really a wow moment. I'm wowed. Starting with 50K to pay. I mean, that's I'll call that a jump start. So go ahead, sir.
Yes. So that is I look back at it, I'm like, Shana, this farm where I started as play. At least you knew when I started. So it's not like these stories. So I started it like that, and then see myself now. I'm not yet where I want to be, not even close.
Yeah.
Or it's a gradual process. At least I know I'm in the process and it's making sense. So seeing myself, in fact, when I started first, that was when I started seeing results. I started with 50K.
Yes.
It's not like when I started with 50K, that was everything. I started with 50K as the first capital I had. That was from where I bought my fingerling and the first bag of feed I bought them. So starting from there, now being able to grow my money from that 50K, the first time I reared my fish, I did for 3 months. I was able to make, let me say, if I used like 400K to keep my fish, I was able to make almost 80% profit.
Wow.
Yeah, I made 80% profit, more than actually. So like all these things are wow moments for me when I'm like, but people are complaining that this thing, there's no, because even as I'm doing it, I still get people that call me and say, bro, how are you doing it in this thing? This thing, I know they see money from. They say things like that. I'm like, what? Maybe you're not doing something right, or this space is not just for you. Yeah, that's the truth, because it could not be for, it could be that this space now is not where they're meant to be and they're just there. So, but the one that happened this year is my own wow moment where I was able to like, take investment, was still able to pay it back before the time frame. I was able to pay back the capital of the investment I took before the time frame that I'm meant to pay back the money. It's actually a wow moment for me. I'm like, if I, at least the progress is there. It's very, very clear for me.
Yeah. So, looking at, can you hear me?
Yes.
So if you could give yourself, your younger self, one piece of advice before, if you want to give yourself, your younger self, one piece of advice, what will you have told yourself? Be like, if you had to advise your younger self who want to go into this fish farming, maybe like if you have your younger self and looking at him, what would you have told that your younger self?
What would I have told my younger self? Well, if I'm looking
Like
at
from
my,
your
I would just,
experience, yeah.
well, I don't want to like target to just fish farming. In life in general, maybe anything that you want to go into, anything I want to go into. If I'm to talk to my younger self, I'll tell my younger self, the picture doesn't have to be clear, just start.
True, true. The
So
picture
just
doesn't have
start.
to be clear.
Yeah, just start. I feel when you start, the picture it starts coming clearer. The
True.
picture starts getting clearer. But everything starts from a standpoint of view starting first. So just start first. Whatever it might be, it might not even be fish farming, anything.
Just
If the
start.
vision is not clear, just start it. Vision will be clear along the line. Children of Israel did not even know they were going to the promised land. But they just took a step. They left Egypt.
Yeah.
So you just have to
Yeah.
take a step. Then God will not be the one to keep directing us.
Wow. So what's next on your journey? Looking at where you have come, what would you say is next for you? Yeah.
For me now, I intend to expand. I'm intending on doing getting more partnerships with agricultural brands. Probably like me now, I intend to go into feed production. And then on getting partnership with feed brands, especially the ones that are not too popular but their feeds are good. So if
Yes.
I can maybe get a partnership or ambassadorship for one of them, it will be something very worth it. It will be worth it for me because I've always wanted to like have an affiliation with a particular feed brand for agriculture
Yeah.
that produces feed. Yeah. So and there's more. There's actually more. We won't come out and just say it all. We'll keep
Yeah. No,
working so
that's
that
that.
people in there.
So
So when this
so
yeah,
where can people connect with you or learn more about your work? Just state it out so that as the video goes out, somebody can know where you are, where they can find you. You never can know who wants you to who want to learn from you, who want to get connected to you. Videos are very powerful. I mean, this is my field, the media and the tech space, and I know the power of video. One person can, you don't need everybody. You need just one person who really needs your services, and that's it.
yes.
So where can
Okay.
they find you?
Okay, apart from I have a business page, Ono Farms underscore. So apart from that, you can reach out to me personally at Mr. Ono on Instagram. I'm the only one that has the name. If you just type
Yes.
Mr. Ono, you will see it there on Instagram. On TikTok, the same thing.
Yeah.
You can look for me on TikTok. Then on Facebook, just my name, Tochukwu Samuel. But I think Instagram is a very good place to reach out to me. That is where I know I would answer the person on TikTok. These are two places I know I pay attention to. Or you
All
reach out
right.
to me on my business page too. Ono
So
Farms.
all right. So what are you going to tell the people to expect on our next podcast, where you're going to be talking about how to get into the fish farming, your journey on how you got into it, and how they can
Yeah.
actually get into what will you give the people they should expect on that podcast?
One of the things I would give people is I don't know how to put it, but it's just to tell people. Like to me, I would basically just tell them whatever dreams they may have because I don't know. Some of them might be agriculture, might be fish, some might be
Yeah.
poultry, some might be different. Is to just like give them the right motivation they need to start it. Because I know
Wow.
some people are waiting for the motivation. One, as some people say, is a click
Yeah.
to start.
Yeah.
Some people are looking for a click. So maybe I would tell them how to figure out that click now
That's
for
click.
themselves
Yeah.
and how they are meant to start.
Wow, Mr. Tochuku, thank you for being on this podcast today. It has been an amazing moment having this
Thank you so
conversation with you, and we know that in our next conversation it's going to be better and it's going to be more educated. I mean, me, I was educated by this podcast, and to anybody listening to this podcast, I hope you take that action according to Mr. O'Neill. He have said a lot of things. Take action. Don't wait for everything to be fine. Don't wait for it. Just take that action and see that things are going to come out very fine. All right.